Hello children, welcome again to the virtual session. So let us begin with chapter 1, Matter in our surroundings. In this session we are going to continue with the textual exercise. So textual exercise question 10, we finished till question 9 in our earlier session. So we will start with question number 10. What is the physical state of water at 250 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius? So let us see. Water at 250 degrees Celsius exists in gaseous state. Okay, so water at 250 degrees Celsius will exist in gaseous state because water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. When you heat water, it will reach the boiling point 100 degree, and that time water in a liquid state will convert into gaseous state. So water at 250 degrees Celsius will be in gaseous state. B part of this, at 100 degrees Celsius, water can exist in both liquid and gaseous form. At this temperature, after getting the heat equal to the latent heat of vaporization, water starts changing from liquid state to gaseous state. So at 100 degrees Celsius, what happened? Water can exist both in liquid and gaseous form. At this temperature, after getting the heat equal to the heat of vaporization, water starts changing from liquid state to gaseous state. Means when you heat water and the temperature will start rising, when it reach 100 degrees Celsius, at that point of time water will exist in liquid form, because at that point 100 degree it is going to exist in liquid state, as well as that point of time it will go to gaseous state as well, because at this temperature, after getting the heat, means the heat which is we are supplying is equal to the latent heat of vaporization. That means the hidden heat that will be utilized for changing the state from liquid to gaseous state. Therefore it will exist both in gaseous and liquid state as well. Question number 11. For any substance, why does the temperature remain constant during the change of state? So we need to check now here. During a change of state, the temperature remains constant. This is because all the heat supplied to increase the temperature is utilized in changing the state by overcoming the forces of attraction between the particles. Therefore, this heat does not contribute in increasing the temperature of the substance. During the change of state, temperature will remain constant because the heat which we are supplying will be utilized in overcoming the intermolecular forces of attraction which exist between the particles of water. Therefore, this heat will not contribute in the increasing of the temperature of the substance. It will be used up as a hidden heat. Now, question number 12, assignment here. Suggest a method to liquefy atmospheric gases. Question number 13, why does a desert cooler cool better on a hot dry day? You have to write it in your notebook, children. Assignment work. Question number 14, how does water kept in an earthen pot, matka, become cool during summers? And question number 15, why does a palm feel cold when we put some acetone or petrol or perfume on it? Question number 16, why are we able to sip hot tea or milk faster from saucer than a cup? So all these concepts we have already discussed in our sessions. So you need to write these answers in your notebook. Question number 17, what type of clothes do we wear in summers? Question number 18, convert the following temperatures to Celsius scale. So 293 K you have to convert into Celsius scale, 470 K you have to convert into Celsius scale. So from the given temperature you are going to subtract 273, that will give you Celsius scale, because 0 degree Celsius is equal to 273 K. So you are going to do this assignment in your notebook. Question number 19, convert the following temperatures to Kelvin scale. So when you have to convert to Kelvin scale, you have to add 273 K. So 25 degree plus 273 you have to add and get the answer. Similarly, 373 plus 273 you will get the Kelvin scale. So you have to do all this in your notebook. Give reason for the following observations. Naphthalene balls disappear with time without leaving any solid. This will you are going to relate to the sublimation process, and this we have discussed earlier. You have to understand and write this answer in your notebook. You have to justify second one, why we can get the smell of perfume sitting several meters away. So this is also an assignment. You can relate to the concept of diffusion of the perfume of the in the air. So the answer, naphthalene undergoes sublimation easily, that is the change of state of naphthalene from solid to gas takes place easily. Thus naphthalene balls disappear with time without leaving any solid. So here we have related to the sublimation. You have to write in your notebook. Gaseous particle possesses high speed and large space between them. So particles of the perfume diffuse into this gaseous state, gaseous particles at a very fast rate and reach our nostril. So because of diffusion, the perfume particles diffuse in the air easily, and that can reach to a nostril very easily, and therefore this enables us to smell the perfume from a distance. Arrange the following in the increasing order of forces of attraction between these particles. So you have to relate to the concept of intermolecular force of attraction, intermolecular space between the particles of the matter. So water, sugar and oxygen in the order of force of attraction. You can relate in different states of matter, like water in a liquid state, sugar in a solid state and oxygen in a gaseous state. So which one will have more intermolecular forces of attraction? Accordingly you will arrange in the increasing order of the forces of attraction. So here sugar is a solid, the force of attraction between the particles of sugar are strong. Water is a liquid, force of attraction here weaker than sugar. Oxygen, the force of attraction between the particles weakest. Thus the increasing order of forces of attraction between the particles of matter of water and sugar and oxygen will be first oxygen, then water, and then sugar will be the maximum forces of attraction, where oxygen will have the weakest because it's in the gaseous state. Question 22. What is the physical state of water at 25 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius? So here let us see, water at 25 degree is present in the liquid state because more or less it's a room temperature. 25 degrees Celsius is normally a room temperature. So that temperature water will exist as a liquid. At 0, water can exist both as a solid and liquid because at that point of time uh, um, ice at 0 degrees Celsius will melt. So it's a melting point of ice. So at this temperature, after getting the heat equal to the latent heat of fusion, the solid form of water, that is ice, start changing into its liquid form, that is water. Therefore that is the point where ice is converting into liquid, that means in water state. So when it's going in liquid state, ice is going into water state. So that state will be the latent heat of fusion will be absorbed, so that that energy is utilized in overcoming intermolecular forces of attraction between the particles of the ice. Therefore both ice and water will exist at 0 degrees Celsius. At 100 degrees Celsius we have already discussed, water exists both liquid and gas, because that point after getting the heat equal to the latent heat of vaporization, water start changing from liquids to gaseous state, that is water vapors. So at 100 degree both liquid and gas will exist because that is the point, boiling point of water, and that is the point where water is changing into gaseous state. The amount of heat energy, the latent heat of vaporization, will be utilized in overcoming the intermolecular forces of attraction. 23. Give two reasons to justify water at room temperature is a liquid and iron almirah is a solid at room temperature. So here you have to relate to, you have to relate these questions to the properties of liquid in the first one, and in the second one give reason you have to relate to the properties of solids. So you have to relate to the properties which we have discussed, and accordingly you will answer for this question. Question 24. Why ice at 273 K more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature? So let us see, ice at 273 K has less energy than water, although both are at the same temperature. Water possesses the additional latent heat of fusion, hence at 273 K ice is more effective in cooling than water. That means ice at 273, that means 273 K means at 0 degree Celsius has less energy than water. Although both of them exist at that temperature, water possesses the additional heat of fusion. That means the heat which is being absorbed to convert into water. That additional heat will be there in water. Therefore, ice will be more effective in cooling because it will not have that. Because at that point it is absorbing the heat and converting into water. So ice is more effective in cooling than water. What produces more severe burns, boiling water or steam? You must have experienced this, and steam is always cause severe burns. Why? Steam has more energy than boiling water because when water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, it changes into gaseous state. So that steam which comes out will take away the heat which is being supplied to convert into to convert water into steam. So that energy will be there with the steam, and therefore it possesses additional latent heat of vaporization. Therefore, it will cause severe burn than boiling water. So I think it's clear with you, children. And question 26. Here you have a diagrammatic representation of the conversion of solid, liquid and gas. These are the three states of matter. It is a conversion of solid, liquid and gas. So you just need to fill in those boxes A, B, C, D, E and F in the following diagram showing change in the state. So you have to draw this in your notebook. An application of heat and increasing heat and decreasing pressure. What happened to the state of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. So let us see. You draw this in your notebook. With the application of heat and decreasing pressure, there will be a sublimation, solid going directly to the gaseous state. Where with the application of decreasing heat and increasing pressure, gas will again go back to the solid state. Then again, when you increase heat and decrease pressure, solid will go to liquid state, that is fusion, and the reverse process will be the solidification. Again here in solidification you are decreasing heat and increasing pressure. Then liquid, if you increase heat and decrease pressure, that is vaporization, it will go into gaseous state. And again the reverse process, when you decrease heat and increase pressure, there will be a condensation, gas will go to liquid state. So it is the interconversion of solid, liquid and gases with the application of two factors, heat and pressure, that you can be manipulated and interconversion is possible. So you have to draw this in your notebook and you have to fill the boxes. So I hope these concepts clear with your children. Assignment for your 2 marks question. Define latent heat of vaporization. You have to take down this question and you have to write answers on your own. Explain why temperature remain constant during the change of state of any substance. Define sublimation with examples. Next, do we sweat more on a dry day or humid day? Justify your answer. Justify your reason. You need to justify this. Convert the falling temperature to the Kelvin scale, 25 degree and 73 degree Celsius. Next, list two properties that liquid have in common with solids. So we have discussed the properties of solid, liquid and gases together in a table. So from there you can pick points and then you can write this answer. 8. List two properties that liquids have in common with gases. So again you can see the properties which you have discussed. Next, what will happen to the melting point temperature of ice if some common melting point of ice, if the temperature of some common salt is added to it? Justify your answer. So what will happen to the melting point if the temperature of ice if some common salt is added to it? So you just need to discuss the impurities if you add in the salt in the ice, what will happen to the melting point, whether it will increase or decrease. You have to write that. You just justify your answer. What happened when a common salt, that is an impurity, added to the ice? So what will happen to the melting point? Next, how will you show that air has maximum compressibility? So how will you show that air has, you have to justify your answer here, or you can discuss with an activity also how air has maximum compressibility. You can explain with an activity or you can justify with some relevant points. Why people wear cotton clothes justify in summer, and why water droplets appear on the surrounding of a glass with ice cold water. So you just have to relate. It's a application based question of the concept which we have learned. Evaporation and evaporation causes cooling. You just have to relate to those concepts. Now uh, here we end with the session, children. In the next session, we are going to begin with a new chapter. Is matter around us pure? I hope every concept is clear with you all, children. See you in the next session. Have a great day.